Alright, just want to welcome everyone to Panther Racing Division season here in the Lotus 78. We are currently at Historic Spa for what's sure to be an exciting race. This old track is pretty much top speed and flat out for the entire race, so there's going to be a lot of drafting, and any kind of mistakes through the very few quick corners that we have are going to be harshly punished. 15 minutes, the cars are going to release for qualifying, and we'll get everything started. I will be staying in the pits for the duration so I can broadcast. In the race today, we've got Stu, got Americajan, got Dusky Demon, got Flying Spark, who's going to be leaving the pits soon, I'm hoping. No, not really. Warming up his tires there. Mech Zero, Toothpick Willie, who is also in the pits. Scott Mick. Fiskerton. Getting a little squirrely right there. Looks like he's already pushing as though he's on a qualifying lap. Satchel Charge. And Stocky. Let's bring up the map and see who's going to be starting off the lap first. Looks like Fiskerton's actually out front. He's going to get a clean air lap. My guess is he just wants no interference. It's one thing to be able to catch that draft and use it, but if you get any dirty air, it could be pretty devastating. I mean, this track is just flat out, and the couple corners that it does have just require full commitment. The right line through them, you'll either gain a couple seconds or end up in the wall. And let's hop on board. See what this looks like. Runs off, and there we go. Got our first off. Just gonna have to go back to the pits. Here we go with Stu coming through that same section. And we'll check out the start of his lap. Eau Rouge is completely different from what it became in the future. There's significantly less runoff room, and it's far more dangerous. On top of having no room left to right, the track is a little bit bumpier in that section especially. There's a big downhill corner that goes into an uphill right-hander here. That's a critical part of this track. we're coming up to that. That's going to be right here in the middle of the track. Key part. Looks like Stu's actually catching up to somebody. Might get a little bit of a draft. Let's see what speed we're at. We're pinned at 181 miles an hour in 5th gear. Here we are, that big downhill, pushing it up to 187, 88. Just touches 89, and then here comes the turn. Whoa! It's like he barely avoided the wall there. Let's hop on board with somebody else, see how they're going through those sections. Looks like Stu's going to be drafting a little bit for the end of his lap, but it also might interfere with his line through some of the corners. Looks like he got the most out of that one. And with how long the track is, we're really only going to get maybe 1 or 2 laps of qualifying. It's roughly a 3.5-minute lap, and so it's really going to come down to a mistake-free qualifying to even get a lap in. Alright, always a positive when you go through that section. We're not going to end up in a house. Alright. Oh no! Oh! What a devastating error. Right into a house, and you can see how dangerous this track can be right there. I mean the touch on the guardrail was enough to cause a little bit of damage, but the runoff zone on the other side after you hit the guardrail is straight into the corner of a house. All right, we're about halfway through qualifying here. Let's see how our times look at the moment. Like we've got Stu back in the pits with a 3:11.1. I believe in time trial he said he ran a 3:08, but I guess he's perfectly content with that time. I don't know if he'll get around 2 more times to start a fresh lap. Stocky just jumped over Nono with a 3:14.6. You can see he's right on the edge. He's really must have lowered his radiator to get every little bit out of the car. He's running at 252 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which is well in excess of taking a significant amount of damage. Let's continue to run down the order here. No, not really making another lap, it looks like. Let's check that Sector 1 time in comparison to Stu. Looks like about a 2-second gap in Sector 1 times. A little squirrely there, no. Got somebody else coming up to that hairy corner. Let's see who that is. Alright, it's Fiskerton. Cut that tighter. Keep it together. And that's significantly going to hinder his lap, but at the same time, he didn't end up inside of a house. A couple more guys approaching that area. I think Nono's actually coming through there now. Keeps it together there. Stocky's up next, looking to improve on his time. Dusk keeps it on track. Nice. See how his Sector 1 time was? It's a little quicker than No-No through Sector 1, it looks like. And his Sector 2 should be significantly faster. Yeah, about a second faster because of that wall touch from No-No. Let's go trackside with some of these guys. Let's see what Spark is up to. Let's take a little drive. That's interesting. You close the interface, and the one thing that I would like to keep up there is actually the speedometer. The track map's almost irrelevant in this kind of display mode, but yet that stays up, but the speedometer will not. Interesting. It'd be nice to have an actual indication of the speed that we're going. See if there's any chatter on the on TeamSpeak.
Sound resumed.
Exiting pit.
Little wiggle there from Spark.
Exiting pit.
This should be an excellent visual shot. Look at that. Just looks like the car's going to go down into a cave. Just falls off the edge of the earth. So much more
Exiting
dramatic.
pits.
That angle really gives you a sense of how steep and the elevation change that is at Rouge. Let's see.
Exiting pit.
So Flying Spark did not have a lap going that time, so he's still not on the board, but this should be his lap at this point. Got Toothpick still in the garage. It looks like he actually hasn't
Sorry,
done
man.
a lap yet. Looks like he actually hasn't even set foot on track yet. Interesting. So running down the order with 2 minutes to go. Everybody should be pretty much on their last lap. Got Stu in first. Fiskerton actually jumped over Stocky to take second place. Stocky is sitting in third. No, not really. Going through the little S's there, sitting in fourth. Satchel charge. Oh, losing control. He's sitting in fifth, so he'll be okay with that. I'm sure he wants to get a little bit higher up there in the order, but there's not going to be enough time to get around for another lap with as long as the lap is. Dusky Demon sitting in sixth. Mech Zero sitting in seventh, and it looks like somebody might be drafting on him actually, coming up to the start-finish here. Yeah. Who is that trying to draft on him? That is Fiskerton. See if that helps the time at all. Whoa! Comes within 0.6 of Stu. So looks like he got a bit of a draft there, and that really helped out his time. Got a couple drafters over here. As everyone's making their way down. That's No-No. That's No-No driving on Spark.
Pass on the left.
It's on the left, on the left.
There goes the draft on Spark. Getting a little bit of extra speed. I think Spark's on a flying lap himself. And this will be the only one that he gets in, so. Keep it together! Oh.
Nice save.
There's that dirty air from the
Expecting you
draft.
to let off.
So it looks like Flying Spark's actually going to go ahead and get a time in at this point. but obviously that slide's going to impact his placement. And Spark comes into place in 9th. Looks like, I don't think he took any damage, so he might be going for another lap here. Looks like everybody that's currently out is going to be finishing up their lap. So Nono's still completing a lap. We got Flying Spark. Dusky Demon, I believe his qualifying just ended. Looking at the shaking of the AI. Mech Zero. Looks like he's going for another lap. Makes it safely through that very difficult right-hander. Got somebody else coming up through here. I believe that is Americajan, who's currently sitting in 8th. Got a 55, so he's improved a little bit on his time here. Might be jumping up the order if he gets a clean lap here. Hug that inside, slightly lift, and don't end up in the house. There we go.
Guys, you still there?
That's,
Huh? Yeah?
My timer stopped counting down.
Okay, I got one.
Alright, looks like he's improved his time significantly.
Still on my
Let's
lap.
jump back on board with Mech Zero here, see where he ends up. Let's get that angle here a couple more times heading down to the start-finish straight. It's a great shot. Little bit of tire spin. Let's see, he's got a 322.5. Alright, goes down to a 322.4, improves by 1/10. No positions gained, but I'm sure he's going to be happy with that lap. A little bit of a confidence builder. Americajan running really close to the wall as he comes down the final corner. Makes that corner, getting back on the power. Comes home, has a 322.9. Jumps over Mech with a 321.4. Looks like we got a little bit of drafting. Looks like that's no, not really. That's going to be affected by Scottnick's draft. Check no, not really's time. It's not quite where he needs to be through Sector 1, but this Sector 2 draft could have really helped him depending on how much he got from Scott. I mean, just over the course of a 1 mile straight, you can probably pick up a second or two. Let's see where Scott ends up. Scott jumps into 9th, and no, not really remains in 4th. So to round out our order, after the timer eventually comes to a close, let's see if Spark can jump one more position here. He improves by a full 3 seconds, does not gain any position, but I have a feeling this is going to be really a race of attrition. We've got 11 runners today. A lot of people just simply skipped over this track from the danger aspect, but this is going to be the fastest track during the entire season. It's difficult, but we're reaching speeds that really shouldn't be possible in these early Formula One cars. Sometimes in the downhill section,
Clock's got a minute on it. I think everyone's done.
190
My
miles
screen's
an hour.
frozen at 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
It's okay. I think it's because of the extra long lap.
But,
It might have just screwed up.
All right, I don't know if I'm going to be able to click continue, though.
Well, we'll find out in 50.
Sound muted.
At certain aspects, if they get a 2 or 3 car train drafting, especially in the fastest sections, I mean, I don't know if they've geared their cars correctly for it, but we might see over 200 miles an hour in these cars. But running down the order, we've got Stu in P1. Let's go to Chase Cam. Fiskerton right behind him in P2. Stocky in P3. No, not really in P4. Satchel Charge in P5. Dusky Demon in P6. Americajan, it's a rookie, in P7. Mech Zero in P8, getting a high five from the pit crew. Scott Mick in P9. Flying Spark in P10. And with me sitting out, it will be Toothpick Willie in P11. Look at the difference on that Sector 2 time just from Fiskerton picking up that little bit of draft. Got 2/10 and Stu was destroying Sector 2, so he really got helped out there. Close Sector 1, second shy on Sector 2. Or Sector 3, sorry.
Sound resumed.
Looks like we had an issue
You want to
with
start the
server
server now?
reset.
Because I'm
Sound muted.
Looks like we had a small issue with a server reset there, so I do apologize for that. It's just the nature of the game right now until we get the latest patch. Hopefully that fixes it. That patch is due to release, I believe, next week. And yeah, as soon as the server is back up, we will jump in there and we will head to the race. Looks like it's not been set up quite yet.